Powered by Fantasyverse. Welcome to Turn a Page, the official comic book club for Nerd Initiative. Each week, the NI Bullpen will be covering the world of comics, talking to creators, deep diving into some fantastic stories, and much more. Now let's hand it over to the team and turn a page.
Going on, everyone? It is Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are tuned in for an all-new edition of Turn a Page, the official comic book club for Nerd Initiative. My name is Ken M. You know me as the host of the ODPH podcast. I'm also Nerd Initiative Editor-in-Chief. Rich is on assignment, otherwise he'd be the third person here on our panel, but fear not. We do have a Tom. He does his own intro. It's in his contract.
All right, I got to make it for last week because you know what? I kind of skipped it, so I got double going on. So coming at you live and direct straight from the ODPH studios. My name's Ozzy Tom, Nerd Initiative pop culture connoisseur, Ken, and all my comic conventioneers. Always a pleasure.
Yes, indeed, because it is came, it is saw, it is conquered. San Diego Comic-Con took place this past weekend out in, obviously, San Diego. And definitely was making some noise in the land of comics, and is one that we definitely want to kind of recap here on the show. So obviously, when you think SDCC, you're thinking movies, TV, comics, entertainment. There was a lot going on, but we are focusing on the comic news that was breaking on the show. And that is one that I think fans kind of forget about a lot of times when we think about SDCC.
Well, it's called Comic Con, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But obviously, San Diego is so synonymous with those Marvel Studio Hall H moments, the DC studios.
I think now that the zeitgeist of the idea that, you know, that nerd culture is pop culture, is comic culture, that it's all one big vicious circle, and in a good way and a bad way. But again, we're going to thumb through the pages and pass through the panels and bring all that fantastic news to you.
Yes, but first we do that, we got to give you the reminder. Make sure to swing on over to Nerd Initiative YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, you really want to make sure you're catching up on everything that we're doing over there, because there's exclusive content going there, especially the San Diego Comic-Con interviews that our GEO Michael did, Thomas, who is absolutely crushing it, and more content is coming on the way. So we can't make that more clear. You got to make sure you subscribe. It's a quick button click. Boom, done. Then you got to tap that bell notification in the icons there, because if you want to get alerted when Turn a Page is going live, when Play for Keeps is going live, every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or how about Wrestling Night Live every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard? You want to make sure you're tapping on that. And then obviously give the thumbs up to let the bosses know that you like the content you're seeing here on Nerd Initiative. You want to see more. So you tap the thumbs up for Turn a Page. You're going to see more comic stuff start coming through. If you want to see more wrestling at Wrestling Night Live, give it the thumbs up. It's that simple. That's how it goes.
What about Monday?
Yeah, of course, Play for Keeps. So I figured you were going to jump in and say that. If you want to see about the toys and collectibles going on right now, they did a fantastic job covering the toys and collections that were at San Diego this past week. But we want to talk some comics with you. And I think the one company that really made a big splash out the gate, Dynamite Entertainment.
Blowing up.
Yeah, they had some big news coming on San Diego. And the one that was really catching my eye, Tom, we have a new home for Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Like, seriously, it's not on the CW anymore. And, you know, the other spinoffs like Riverdale and Sabrina and whatnot. No, we're going back to the paneled pages. That's right. Eisner Award-winning Kelly Thomas will be taking on the comic book franchise as the master architect and writer for both Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel.
Yeah,
that's right. These two series are going to be set and interconnected and complement each other closely for an epic introduction of characters to the characters in the franchise to all news audiences as well as long-time readers. Ken, I can't tell you how excited I am. Do you know I have a semi-personal connection to Angel?
No, break it down for us.
So believe it or not, David Boreanaz, who played the character Angel, his real name is David Roberts Jr. He is the son of the local weatherman that I grew up watching in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yep. And he's also an IC graduate for those of you who are like us and live in upstate New York.
Yeah, I mean, that's something definitely, very interesting.
So I love it. I was always a fan of Angel. Buffy's great. Sarah Michelle Gellar, she did a great job. But I always loved Angel when they went on that series. So to see that these two franchises are coming back and they're not going to push it into TV so quickly or whatnot that they're respecting it and putting it. Yeah, I mean, and knowing Kelly Thompson too. I mean, what was the last thing I did? I read her Scarlet run.
Scarlet, absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah. So
I mean, she is absolutely crushing it right now. Kat's in the chat. Shout out to Kat. I'm very interested to see how Dynamite makes this new Buffy series different than the versions of both Dark Horse and Boom Studios did. Yeah, I agree too. I mean, I think that's something that we're going to have to really keep our eyes out for as fans. But with Kelly Thompson writing it, I know it's going to be something special.
She'll do it justice and then some.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one there. And there is one that we have to give a little peek behind the curtain here too. We announced in our bullpen that there was going to be a new Supernatural series coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, we got a little more details on that. Greg Pak is going to be taking it over, and this is going to be taking place between seasons 1 and 2. And I know we have some Supernatural chat or fans in the chat. How are you feeling about this? But Tom, let me start with you. How are you feeling about Supernatural coming back to the comic shops?
I mean, I'm happy that, the fans still get to keep enjoying their franchise. I personally am not a Supernatural person. I never got into it. But as knowing how iconic, in the modern day that this is, I mean, this is a modern day classic if you think about it.
Yeah.
And it's another thing to get people out to the comic shops. And on top of it, this might actually start bringing new people to our comic book shops. If you think about it, these might just be your folks who aren't familiar with different franchises or whatnot, so kudos to them for picking up such a great IP and running with it. And then maybe those folks will get in, and maybe if they like all the dark and the horror stuff, they're going to follow through and get, say, something Doctor Strange or so on and so forth. This is a great open door to get them in.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I mean, this is one that definitely had our bullpen's attention. Kat's in the chat and screaming about it like she needs this. Yeah, a lot of people are really excited about going to this early era too. Like, I'm a big Supernatural fan, so I love seeing this early take because I think like seasons 1 through 5, in my opinion, were like the strongest. And they still stayed pretty consistent, except for the Leviathan series. I'm just going to put it out there. Everything else stayed pretty steady for them moving forward to their final season. But they really came through with it, and they really are going to allow some creators to really take the reins and run with it. And I think that's something very cool. Like I said, Greg Pak and Eder Messias are going to be starting this in October. And like, this is going to be a really fun series to get a hold of too. And especially with what Dynamite's been able to do with big properties. Like we talk about what they've done with Disney. We talk about what they do with like the Hanna-Barbera lines.
Absolutely.
They're really putting a lot of top-notch creators on this. And I'm sure the series is going to be making a lot of noise at the shop. So definitely something to keep an eye out for if you're a Supernatural fan. And then there was something that we're going to kind of cross a little streams to your land of Play for Keeps and a little RPGs. There's an announcement about a Thundercats RPG game coming to Kickstarter.
Ooh, I got you say it, man. Look, I literally have goosebumps.
Yeah, we're showing it on camera now. Tom's excited about this one. So this got announced at San Diego. Tom, why don't we break this down?
Okay, so Dynamite Entertainment, Warner Brothers, Discovery, Global Consumer, they're excited to announce and tease an upcoming role-playing tabletop game based on the expansive mythos of the Thundercats franchise. The game will be designed by Canadian-based Lavender Studios. The renowned tabletop gamer has worked with Dynamite previously on the 2018 Reanimator game and renowned by gamers for their original creations and licensing on other franchises. Thundercats is debuted back in the 80s. Gamers can expect all their fan favorites and elements of the franchise. I can tell you right now, sorry, I'm going to speak for Rich. I know he absolutely loves what Dynamite is doing in the comics right now. I think, and all the buzz that we get in our bullpen, I'm excited. As far as me being a D&D player, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they break this down. I'm going to speak D&D here for a second. So
Go ahead.
Hold on to your dice. Okay. You can't have all tabaxis. All right. So my big thing is that I really am looking forward to how they break down any type of racial traits or species traits as far as the different types of felines are concerned, and how they're going to break down certain types of character classes. You look at someone like Lion-O, he's going to be a fighter type character. You look at someone like Panthro, he could be a stealth type character. And then on the flip side, you have things like Monkey-In or, the mutants. You're going to have like those are probably going to be your barbarians. You're going to have magic users like Jaga and Mumra. And again, folks, this is all speculation. We don't have anything. This is me just, throwing it out there. So I'm really looking forward to see how they do this. There have been some franchises that I've seen developed into RPGs that some hit and some are crit fail.
Yeah. Well, here's one I posted a super chat, wherever you're watching us on. Who do you want to see made into an RPG game? I mean, Tom, I think I probably know your answer.
Mega Man?
No, that was not the one I was thinking of.
Oh, the other one's already been done.
Okay, see, I was not sure about that.
Yeah, it was done years ago.
That is not my forte. But I think that we're seeing a big surge with that. I mean, Marvel has a great role playing game out right now.
Mhm.
At DC, I think they were doing the Kickstarter to bring it back, the old school Heroes one that they had back in the 80s. So I think right now, I mean, RPGs are very synonymous with comics, and to see that you're seeing Dynamite really come in and do a great job with their Kickstarters, especially with what they've been doing with the Thundercats line in general.
Now, I do have one kind of question about that. Now, because this is going to be something backed with Dynamite, are we doing this all in the Dynamite lore, or are we taking it also considering different lore as far as the 80s series is concerned, the 2013 series? I'm assuming more it's going to stay towards the Kickstarter, but I wouldn't mind, say, expansions or whatnot that follow those particular lines as well.
It's a great question. I honestly, I don't know yet. I mean, just hearing about it, and Kat's in the chat, she would love to see a Powerpuff Girls as an RPG. That'd be a fun one too.
Yeah, you get your little extra things of, okay, so instead of charisma, you get sugar, and then instead of intelligence, you get spice, and then you get everything nice.
Well, that's the one great thing about crossing into the RPG land, that you can really kind of expand on the character mythos and really run with it, and really make some fun memories with that too. Like I say, I always remember playing the old school Marvel game, Marvel Superheroes by TSR. So it's, seeing it come back and swing, I think is a very cool thing.
And the fun thing is, folks, that, when we finally start doing the RPG stuff on here, we've all kind of called dibs on our different characters. And let's just say Ken is, typecasted.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. So we'll get ready to rock and roll when that is coming sooner than later, fall 2025. So stay tuned for that. A lot of big news, like we say, talking about. So super chat, let us know what you thought was the biggest news of San Diego Comic-Con for you as far as the comics go. One that really hit a chord with me, and I was super excited to hear about this. Boom Studios always has a great Slaughterverse panel. So it's talking about something that's killing the children. Obviously, one of the best series out at the shops. And it was announced by James Tynion that they are contracted through 100 issues.
That's amazing.
That's insane.
I mean, how many comic books nowadays go that far?
Yeah.
Let's be perfectly honest. Even when I saw that news, I'm like, oh my goodness, Ken's gonna be so happy.
Yeah. No, I immediately lost my mind because I thought the initial number was 75.
Yeah.
So the fact we're going to get 25 more issues, if doing the correct math, if that is.
It puts the big grin on your face.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, if you haven't read Something Is Killing the Children, I'm going to say this, James Tynion is the master of doing slow burn drama. And how they set up everything with this is really telling, and especially to connect on like the horror aspect, but they really go to a different level with it. And it really is, it sucks you into this world, and it's so complex, but they give you enough entry level points,
right,
that you can jump in. And they do a great series with the Book of Slaughter, the book of their different book of series, Book of Cutter. Like they have a bunch of different ones that explain each house that's in the Order of St. George. And it's so easy to jump in and get hooked on the story.
Yep.
Because like it's something, if you like adventure, if you like horror, it has everything on it. So like I say, the fact that we're going to have more of it, I'm excited about. And I can't wait to hear more about the TV show when it's coming, like, some real concrete stuff.
See, and that's probably what's going to draw me in. Like, I know I've done a review or two for them before with you. But if I can jump in and get the TV series, which needs to come sooner rather than later, then I'll probably be that person that'll go back and get all the trades and have them on my shelf.
Yeah. Kat's put, I started watching it, or started Something's Killing the Children. It's way better than I thought or imagined. Yeah. It's deceptive of how good it is, because on the surface, it's, very cut and dry about what it is.
Yep.
It's so many layers to it. It's one of the best series and deserves all the praise it gets. And even the spinoff series that I know House of Slaughter wrapped up, it's still worth like checking out if you really like well thought out dramas. Like I say, I could sit here and rave about it all night, but we have more stuff to cover. And next up was one that I know, Tom, this one definitely got our attention from IDW. We have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Godzilla crossover coming out.
I'm interested. I'm skeptical, but I'm interested. We've had so many Godzilla crossovers recently. We've had the two with the Rangers. We've had everything that's going on with them in the Marvel. We've had Godzilla and King Kong and DC. So some of these make sense because we have really big superpowers. How they're going to portray this as far as the Ninja Turtles are concerned is where it has me skeptical. I'm not trying to jump ship. I'm not trying to speculate way too far. I mean, obviously we know it's from IDW. They're going to take care of their characters, and they're not going to just shoehorn in a plot just for the sake of selling the comics, because we trust what they do. So again, I'm there. I'm going to read it. I'm going to try to enjoy it, because, they just got to do it right.
Yeah.
But I'm going in with a little skepticism.
Yeah.
And that's me being honest.
Yeah. Tim Seeley and Pharaoh's on that.
Tim Seeley does great. He did a great job on, Heroes of Grayskull. I like that too. But again, I'll be a little cynical. God forbid.
Well, here's the thing about what's going on with IDW and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line is amazing, and they have great books coming out.
Mutant Nation and Night Watcher.
And they have Shredder series that's going to be coming, and a few more things. I know they're doing a switch up of creative teams at issue 13, but still, IDW is putting out some of the best Turtle stuff. So if you're a fan of that fandom, it's something definitely to keep in mind, and one that you don't want to miss, because, like I say, they have got so much going on there, and then let alone their IDW Dark line. And with what they're doing with Godzilla, like they have a lot going on. That if you haven't checked them out lately, it's a perfect time to do it, especially if you're a Godzilla fan. Like I say, right now you're seeing a lot of great stories coming out, and especially the crossover appeal, which I threw out to the chat. And I said, what is everybody's favorite Godzilla crossover of late? Because he's been making some rounds.
I preferred Godzilla versus Rangers 1. 2 was a little bit of a stretch. I'll be very, very honest. And you know what? Speaking of Rangers and whatnot, let's cycle back real quick to Boom, right? Because they also announced, speaking of Turtles, we're just going to put it all together real quick. They did mention again, TMNT Rangers 3 is coming out next month. So you got to know I'm going to be following that. And the great big thing that I like to see is Rita is out. It is Zed and Shred. And I want to see how this bromance is going to work out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening in the Power Rangers universe with that as well. So, yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Sorry, back on track.
No worries.
Squirrel.
Yeah, but there is something that Dark Horse was making their rounds to. We got to go switch focus to that, and had a great minor threats panel, which I believe we have something coming from Thomas about.
Ooh.
So I don't want to steal any thunder from that, but I wanted definitely to show some love to what they're doing over at Minor Threats. And we have a big announcement that we did tease last week, but it is official for next week. Timmy Haig and Scott Kolobish is going to be on the show live talking about Archie versus Minor Threats. So this is a big crossover that's coming out.
That's amazing.
I am super excited to talk to both of those gentlemen about this and really see what they have coming out. Minor Threats, I can't speak enough about this universe. If you haven't checked it out, it is so good. And the fact they have a new series coming out in the fall as well. And then this companion piece too. And like you say, they've just expanded this universe. I know they have some TV stuff coming in the works as well. This is going to be a series you want to jump in early on. You will not be disappointed. If you like the superhero, more like the Boys-esque sort of the dark superhero stuff. But this has got a lot of heart and a lot of different layers behind it too. Like I say, I could go on about this.
He could.
Yeah. But there's another universe that I love just as much. This is one that Tom gave me my flowers for last week about. Arguably my favorite comic universe going on. It's the Massiverse.
Yeah.
Now, if you're out in San Diego every year, they do a big panel.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's massive.
We're finally lucky they're doing them in New York. So I don't know if we have one lined up for New York Comic Con this year.
Okay.
But we had one last year.
I offer myself as tribute.
Yeah. Well, like I say, we know Kyle, we know Ryan. We might be able to make some phone calls.
You need a moderator?
We'll have to have that email to him off air. But in the meantime, though, there was a lot going on here, and especially started off with a little information about Rogue Sun.
Yes. So that's right. Rogue Sun number 30 is going to be in stores this October. Features a guest appearance from the one and the only Medieval Spawn.
Yeah.
Like, we did see in what was it? The Supermassive. We saw. Was that Medieval Spawn? Yeah, That was Medieval Spawn. And now we're finally getting the follow through on that. But not only that, did we find out about Rogue Sun number 30, Rogue Sun number 31 following up out in November features the return of Hellbent.
I can't wait.
And the even more terrifying specter of Dylan's looming high school graduation. Oh my God, adulthood. Dylan's going to start looking into the idea of what it's like to go beyond just being a high school superhero.
Rogue Sun is so good. And especially what Ryan Parrott does about flipping where you think the story's going.
Yeah.
And like you say, he does it probably better than everybody. and especially Hellbent. If you haven't read the story involving him, I think that's probably been the best villain to come out of Rogue Sun.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see his return. And then to see where they're going with Dylan, and especially that story has gone in a lot of different directions. I like where they went with who picked up the second Sunstone. So I'm excited about that.
Right.
And then to see now, obviously, with Dylan and his progression as a hero, like I say, at first, you like I say, Ryan has his way about making you not like a character and then suddenly starting to fall in love with him.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. I say, I'm not there with Dylan yet,
No.
but you can see the progression where you're like, okay, I could see the redemption here. But still, there's some points you're just like, ah.
Oh, it keeps going. You know about that, right, too? Because in Radiant Black number 36, out next month, is a very special kind of story, and I quote, about a woman who finds the yellow radiant in the wake of the Catalyst War. Now, I think you were just alluding to that, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I mean, the Catalyst War has been the event of the Massiverse, and that is saying something, because when they do an event, it's an event.
Yeah.
And the ramifications of it coming out of Radiant Black has really been game-changing, and especially introducing a new villain like Jaeger, who has been phenomenal. I say the one thing with the Massiverse, I always kind of get a little critique-ish, if I can use that word.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
I say, like, Shift is their best villain.
Okay.
And then after that, it's kind of like a little somewhat, I don't want to say like a drop, but like, let's say, when you start thinking about like the villains, like I think Shift is the top, and then it's like a level down. I think Jaeger got right up there with Shift.
Okay.
And really got me excited as a fan to see what they were doing there and like how this plays out. So especially coming off the heels, we have the Radiant Yellow issue, and then we get down to business about what they're doing in 37.
Yep. Now, starting in issue number 37, the next arc of Radiant Black comes with an open order connecting B cover series by poster artist Matt Taylor, with a cover for issue 42 that won't be shown publicly until release day. Now, let's just put this into perspective.
Yeah.
One thing I love that everybody over at the Massiverse does is they understand that it is a multifaceted thing to put out a comic book nowadays. You know, they have the podcast, they have all the little clips, they have, Will Friedle and Ryder Strong voicing some of these characters. Like, they hit you at so many different aspects. And to understand, and you know me, one of the things I absolutely abhor in our industry is all the spoilers and everything that comes out for featured images and comic book covers. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
To do this, because I literally stick my head in the sand, because I do not want to be, swayed when I'm going to do a review and I see that 5 issues out. Oh, this is where they're going with it right on the cover. So kudos, because you know what? Number 42 is the answer to the question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I say, they are very, very good about keeping stuff under wraps, and
yes,
especially not preventing spoilers, rather. I say not spoiling for the fans. And I think that's something that they're very forward thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably better than anybody right now, because of like where they go with their social media presence. And
yes,
especially, like I say, you talked about them doing the shorts and the videos. And especially one thing that they have coming out right now that, I mean, we have the very fortunate pleasure of getting a little early advance on, but this is one that definitely came back up, and that is their fighting card game. So shout out to everybody at Solus. They definitely hooked us up with that, but a little more info on that, Pat?
Yep.
Or Tom, I should say, because Pat was talking about it earlier.
Well, yeah, I'm just as pretty. The new Massiverse Fighting Game Starter Pack, a complete playable game in one $5 booster. Now, someone who's played a lot of card games, I appreciate this. With brand new decks for Radiant Black and Premier, available online from this August from Solus Games Studios. And we have the cards. We were fortunate enough, and thank you to them for sending some over.
Yes,
these are so pretty.
No, it's
so
amazing.
pretty.
It's a great game. We do have a couple of videos coming in the not so distant future demonstrating about that game, because we're big fans of that, and I think everybody should go check it out. If you can get it, definitely go check it out.
Did you get the sleeves yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're good to go for that. Speaking of good to go, I did say last week that this is probably going to be my panel of the weekend. I really thought that if you went to it, you're going to have a lot of information, a lot of big moments, and they delivered, folks.
Like, they weren't just good to go. They transformed and rolled out.
Exactly. We're talking Skybound Entertainment, Energon Universe, and they really came with a lot of info, a lot of moments Tom, let's talk about it.
All right. So Transformers Daniel Warren Johnson was on hand to celebrate the series that earned him 2 Eisner Awards and show off a very special wraparound cover for his final issue, which is going to be number 24. An all-new creative team of writer Robert Kirkman. We know him from somewhere, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
And artist Dan Mora. Hey, I know him from Power Rangers. Will begin a new age of Transformers with issue number 25 this October. The San Diego Comic-Con audience was treated to a glimpse of a new variant cover art for issues 25/26, as well as a new character designed by Mora. The Energon universe will never be the same as the Autobots and Decepticons begin the most surprising new chapter of their war on Earth.
Yeah. I mean, this series has been on point since issue number 1 and then some. Yeah, I was saying, like, it's bittersweet to see Daniel Warren Johnson's run end, but it could not be in better hands with Robert Kirkman and Dan Mora. And like I say, some of the promo art you've seen already, get ready. Like, there will be no drop off in quality. Like, it's going to be up there as one of the best books to pick up in the month.
Seriously.
And then, like I say, that's just one corner of the Energon universe.
Yep. But should I take something out of the pit for the next one?
Let's do it.
That's right. So it was an absolutely stacked panel for the fans of G.I. Joe, where the series writer Joshua Williamson announced the Dreadnought War, an epic story. We will see G.I. Joe shipping twice monthly for 3 months. You have no idea how happy I am for that.
Yeah, same.
Starting this November, my birthday month, with issue number 13, original series artist Tom Riley returns for this arc and is now exclusive to Skybound.
Big win for them.
Huge win. Joined by colors Jordi Belair, the record-breaking creative team reunites to kick off the Dreadnought War as Cobra Commander is targeted for death, and his only hope to survive is Duke.
Just take my money now. Like, the fact we're getting multiple issues.
Oh, dude. Well, look, Ken and I have been fortunate enough to do the reviews together, and I love doing the reviews with him. And I'll I'm always chomping at the bit for the next, like, give me the next book. That's why I started doing the Larry Hama books, because I'm like, I just want to stay in G.I. Joe world right now. But 2 a month, thank God.
Yeah. 2 months, and especially Tom Riley getting locked up for Skybound exclusive. Huge win for them. His artwork, like I said, if you haven't checked it out, he really knows how to deliver on those action scenes and really takes the G.I. Joe that maybe from the cartoons and the movies and amplifies it to a whole different level.
Absolutely.
Like I say, you take a look at 1 through 6 when they're just doing the introduction, let alone the Duke series.
Yep.
Like I say, that's point blank enough of like what he's been doing there. Janelle jumped in the chat. You want to shout out Janelle? She went to the panel. It's so good. Yeah. Like I say, this is just some of the news coming out of it. And then let alone we had more news coming out, and one that is a little out of this world, shall we say.
Absolutely, because the Void Rivals kicks off its biggest story yet with the Quintesson War. As announced by series writer and co-creator Robert Kirkman, this major moment for the series begins in December with Void Rivals number 25, which sees Andrea Brisson join as series artist for the Energon universe epic like nothing you've experienced. And as the new cover reveals, teases, the Sacred Ring will never be the same. Andre Bresson has done an amazing job, especially when he did the Destro miniseries. So to finally see this in a longer format, like, yes, I mean, we're just getting, with all the creative teams that are changing right now at Skybound, of which, kudos to them. They're literally shifting it into the next wave, next degree, next circle. I don't know what word to use because I'm that excited. I'm not just saying this for saying, I mean, holy.
Here's what we have to take in context. I mean, Skybound does amazing books, period.
Yes.
But the fact that they've really put it all in about the Energon universe and really reignited a fan base that crosses into pop culture.
Yep.
And brought them in, and also gave them something new with Void Rivals.
Oh my God.
And the juggling act that's involved, and they pull it off so flawlessly that every book has got something going on that you it's not a sense like you have to read all 3.
Nope. Because I'll be
honest, to read all 3. And that's the one great thing about it. They do such an amazing job with this and what they're orchestrating here too. And say Contestant War, Dreadnought War. I'm not saying they're all going to coincide because I mean, I don't know, but
oh God.
But could you just imagine, because like we have 2 big events going on in the same universe at the same time. And this is not like, an MCU event where, yeah, sure, you're used to multiple happening on such a large scale. This is one universe of 3 books.
Yep.
With 2 monster events.
The good thing is that, if they don't cross over, I will give them credit to that because, you do have the Quintesson War is going to be happening all the way out, in Cybertron area. So bless Primus for that. But the Dreadnought War is going to be happening here on Earth. So I wouldn't mind if there's a little nod, a little this, a little bit of that. Do I need it to completely be crossed over? No. Would I be okay if it did? Yes. But would I have no problem if they make little nods? Absolutely. Like, go for it. And unfortunately, my little what was my theory that coming out of San Diego did not happen.
Yeah,
I still want my GI Joes from the comics.
well, like I say, we still have some time. But like I say, they're planning a lot of big things for the rest of the year. So like I say, this is all dropping later in the fall.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to see what we start seeing in the books and everything coming out. Like I say, this was really a panel that when you talk about going, you get a lot of information.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like they unloaded the arsenal on the fans. So I mean, shout out to the entire team over at Skybound. They do fantastic work.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start dipping into another distinguished studio that is putting out a lot of work, especially had one that had fans' attention. One panel was really generating a ton of buzz.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the DC Comics All In What's Next panel.
Oh God.
So this is one, as the cover is alluding to, DCKO is an event that's coming out this fall. And this is one that, Tom, let's talk about it.
Do I do the big movie voice?
You can if you want.
Heroes will rise, legends will fall. It's time for a cosmic throwdown. DC Today announced that its next comic book event by co-architects Joshua Williamson and Scott Snyder, DCKO. This fall, the gloves come off as the greatest superheroes in the universe enter the arena in a thunderous tournament where the stakes are sky high and the cost of victory may be too steep to bear. Starting in October, this publishing event puts heroes to the ultimate test of strength, loyalty, and knockdown drag-out brawls. Which 32 fighters will enter the Tournament of Champions? Who will rise through the brackets and rival Darkseid against his ever-growing Omega powers? And what sinister secret lies at the absolute heart of Apocalypse? Get ready for the most fun you'll have all year at a death tournament.
Well played, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, this is one that is everything they're doing right now with the Energon universe is definitely something.
Energon.
Or I'm sorry. See, I'm still talking Energon, but you know what? It's the absolute, because like I said,
Energon on the brain.
Oh, I do. Like I say, I rock Energon 24/7. To see what they're doing with the absolute universe,
yes,
and it has been some next level stuff. I really think that this is really enticing fans to come in, especially what Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson, kind of steering the ship here a little bit. They're really kind of making fan events.
Yes.
Like I say, DCKO sounds like something we would always kind of talk about, and behind the scenes, so to speak. As
opposed to DC, having to flip the script and try and rewrite themselves, every so often, every 5 years, because there's always some other sort of crisis. What they've done here with the Absolute and going all in, and now we see the DCKO. They're doing it smart. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel like it's just getting there for the sake of, hey, we got to flip the script just to keep things alive. They're doing something for the fans, specifically for the depth of the characters. And so I am all in, for lack of better words.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way you can't be all in about this. No. Like they've really given a lot of new energy to their line.
Absolutely.
And I think coming out of Absolute Power,
right,
you've really seen the DC regular universe take off, and you've also seen the Absolute Universe explode, and especially the Trinity characters.
Yes,
we've really seen go, and especially there was something Scott Snyder was very gracious enough to put on Twitter. That we have a crossover coming.
That we do,
the first time ever. That's going to be Absolute Wonder Woman 15.
My goodness! So on sale October 1st. Absolute Evil #1 will feature a story about the rising tide
that one too, yeah,
of villainy. But before that, in Wonder Woman number 15, we're going to get a crossover with the big bad Batman, Absolute Batman.
Yeah. Chat, super chat, wherever you're watching us on. What characters are you loving out of the Absolute Universe, and who do you want to see join the Absolute Universe?
Booster Gold.
Well, Booster is technically there if you read Absolute All In, #1. So depending on how you want to define it, they did announce at the panel though too, Absolute Green Arrow is coming.
Okay. Ooh.
So that'll be in the spring of 2026. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there'll be some noise coming out of that with Absolute Evil. That is the book that you were alluding to
Yes.
on screen here, because this is going to be one to keep an eye out for in the fall. And like we say, we're reading all the press releases that are coming out officially from the publishers there. And I know you want to talk a little bit about Absolute Evil.
So again, Absolute Evil will feature a story about the rising tide of villainy in the Absolute Universe, written by Al Ewing with art and main cover by Giuseppe Camuncoli and Stefano Nessi. Variant covers will be provided by Fabio De Tomaso, Gerald Perel, Dustin Wen, and Riley Rosmo, with a foil variant cover also illustrated by Rosmo. In Absolute Evil, Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul, Veronica Cake, Hector Hammond, Eleanor Thawne, and the mysterious Joker, who are no longer working on at cross purposes, together are aligned, united, and dangerous. But an insidious betrayal from within threatens to unravel everything they've built. Honestly, it sounds like you know what it sounds like. They're doing Absolute Legion of Doom.
Maybe.
Or Injustice Society.
Like I say, I'm waiting to see with just anticipation. Like I say, everything they've done on this line has been great. And Kat was answering about favorite absolute possible character. She would have said Green Arrow, but that comic is coming, so maybe the Penguin. Penguin's in that universe, though. It's well, I mean, Oswald is. So just kind of leave it at that if you haven't read Absolute Batman. For me, I mean, I'm gonna say this. They already got my favorite character in there, and that's Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Yes, and the reviews that we've said about Martian Manhunter are probably some of the best. I mean, look, Martian Manhunter to a lot of folks is a B character.
Yeah.
But those of you who know who Martian Manhunter is, all right, he can take down the whole Justice League and not even break a sweat. He is that big of a character, and you just don't know. And if you know, now you know.
Well, what Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez have done with this character has just been next level stuff. There is literally nothing that looks like this book on the shelves, and especially the story they've weaved. Like, this is some next level stuff. I know they're taking a hiatus after issue 6 to recharge.
You know who might be a good one? I'm going to throw this out here because I know we got Absolute Geo, right? Well, Hal Jordan's in there.
Yeah, Absolute Green Lanterns in the
I
universe.
would love to see either Sinestro or Saint Walker. Like, let's see if we can get the Absolute universe really far out in the universe. I'm good with it sticking on Earth, but let's get more to a cosmic level.
Yeah, I mean, that would be something crazy. Absolute Lobo, I think, would be out of control.
Keezy Fem.
Yeah, I think that would be. But me, to keep it grounded in the Absolute universe, I will say this. I love what Scott Snyder has done with the Bat family there.
Okay.
And like with the take on Alfred, and if you've been reading lately, I just want to see it because I know Absolute Bane is absolutely insane right now. I would love to see him do Absolute Azrael. Because I think that would be out of control.
Honestly, I'm going to pull that one back a little bit. I think that would be a little too far, and that's coming from me.
No, let it go. let it just go completely off the rails.
Okay, if we're going to stick in the bats, all right, Absolute Grundy.
I don't think we have that yet.
I think that would be fun. Like, I would say, Grundy has always been, and depending on which iteration he's either been traded as a, just a me Grundy. But we've seen other iterations where he's been intelligent, where he's been smart, where he's been a gangster. I would love to find best one. I'm gonna cross over a Professor Hulk version of Grundy.
That'd be something.
I think that would be an absolute hit.
Definitely super chat. Hit us up on the show. Let us know your picks if you haven't already, and also hit us up on the social medias. We'll definitely answer those back. Well, there's one other publisher that really made some noise that I think we got to cover, and it's a perfect way to kind of put a bow on San Diego Comic-Con, and that is the House of Ideas. Marvel Comics came 3 days, 3 panels, all had big news. So, Tom, let's talk some X-Men.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
let me get my notes here.
They, like I say, they're starting with the Age of Revelation, and this is one that they're going to be kicking off in the fall. Like I say, they're jump starting 10 years into the future. We do have the covers up for a couple of the number 2 issues that are taking place because this is when Doug Ramsey has now has won the role of Apocalypse's heir. So this is one that it's going to get a little crazy, to say the least.
So when Cyclops' X-Men welcomes, Doug Ramsey into the ranks, everything goes wrong. Age of Revelation takes 10 years, takes place 10 years into the future, where Doug's twisted vision of survival of the fittest creates a world where only mutants are fit to survive. He and his choristers hold power in the Revelation territories, a new mutant utopia, while the rest of Earth is transformed and ravaged by the mysterious X virus. But the cracks are beginning to show, and lie that this land was built upon stirs with the flames of rebellion. Across all new titles, see what becomes of your favorite X-Men and superheroes as the Age of Revelation far-reaching impact reshapes the entire Marvel universe.
Yeah, you can definitely see with the X-Vengers and Amazing X-Men right there on screen. Like I say, they're going to do big events. And the wildest thing about this, and this, sure, I'm dating myself a little bit with this. This is going to be the 30th anniversary of Age of Apocalypse.
That's all right. You were like 2.
Yeah. So, like I say, for me to just put that in perspective, and if you, like I say, if you're fortunate enough to be picking up those comics when they first came out.
Yep.
That event really made like the X events into something special.
That was an indelible mark on comic book culture.
Yeah,
let's be honest. That's one of those. What did they say in Spider-Verse? That's one of those fixed points. It really, really was. Where it's one of those comic book things like, where were you when the Age happened?
Yeah, and that's something especially too, because you really saw the creativity shine for the X-Men, who at the time, like, this is the #1 line of all of comics.
Oh yeah.
When they're doing like 15 books a month and something, like, it was insane.
It was overload, but it was there.
Right. But they all had something different in that universe. And even like the Astonishing X-Men of that time, like I say, that book, it was the standout one for me. Maybe we'll do that on Turn a Page one of these days. I think
it's a good one.
That'll definitely
we got a lot of interviews coming up. So, when we can actually fit in an actual deep dive.
Yeah. Like I say, we're going to have to work on that. But that was just an event. Like I say, when that came out and really kind of shook up the comic world. And especially like for what you consider with the X-Men, they do really push the envelope with their crossovers in this manner, especially at that time, to see them kind of pay the homage now 30 years later.
That's amazing. And the fact that you get to see these characters, how they've evolved, and the designs. I've always loved the Age of Apocalypse designs. I don't think that there's ever been one that has been really off-putting. Now to see, how they've lived in this world 6 years later and how they've had to evolve themselves. I am so excited to see these.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way around it. Like, you gotta be excited about that. Another thing to be excited about, it looks like we're taking a shift to the cosmos and coming out of Marvel Comics' Next Big Thing panel. And this is their Comic Hall H panel.
Yep.
They had a lot of news coming on, especially stemming out of the Imperial series going on right now, which has been nothing but rave reviews. Our entire bullpen is talking about this series. And they came with some big information.
Yeah, so in addition to the first looks for an upcoming Imperial War one-shots, Editor-in-Chief C.B. Cebulski, VP and Executive Editor Tom Brevoort, and writer Stephanie Phillips, Dr. Stephanie Phillips, revealed the first wave of the ongoing series set in the new intergalactic landscape created by Imperial planet She-Hulk.
Yes.
Followed up with Nova Centurion, Black Panther Intergalactic, Exiles, and Imperial Guardians. All 5 of these titles are set up in the Imperial War one-shots, releasing over the next few months and begin launching in November, starting with Planet She-Hulk by Stephanie Phillips, because she's been doing such an amazing run on Phoenix and she knows how to do these outer space things. I'm all about it. And Aaron Kuder, who's done Daredevil, and Nova Centurion by Jed McKay, who's done X-Men, and Alvaro Lopez, who's done Predator, Black, White, and Blood. Both Phillips and McKay are also writing their series' respective Imperial War one-shots. Yes, please.
Yeah. And like I say,
I just want to know how Jen got out to Sakaar.
Yeah, like what I say, you gotta pick up the one shot when it's happening. Definitely just want to jump in the chat. I mean, keep the comments coming in. Kat, going back to her quick. Stephanie Phillips writing Planet She-Hulk makes me so excited. Same. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Janelle, Marvel sounds like there's some big stuff coming. I love Stephanie Phillips. Yeah. The reigning, defending, undisputed comics writing champion, She-Hulk Comics. Let the pages hit the floor. Yes. Listen, you put Stephanie Phillips' name on a book, I'm picking it up.
Here's the deal. We talked about DC Knockout. We're going to have a bullpen fist fight to for calling dibs on these Marvel books.
They'll be in there. I think there's one property that's going to take the reins on the big brawl, and that's Supernatural.
Okay. Hey, man, look, I'm just going to shut my cake hole when it comes to that.
I'm just going to say this. I have something planned for the bullpen for Supernatural.
Not it.
But this will be one, I guarantee you, we might have to do the same for this book. I'll put that out in the universe right now. But yeah, with Stephanie Phillips writing this is going to be a monster hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, everything she's done, if you haven't checked her stuff out, like, I don't know what you're doing, because she is writing some amazing stuff right now. And the fact that they're letting her go to Planet She-Hulk ongoing.
Yeah. Like it's
another take my money now.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on top of it, Marvel's doing some ultimately great things as well, right?
Yeah.
So believe it or not, Jonathan Hickman and Marco Chesetto, thank you. Generational Spider-Man saga reaches its planned conclusion coming up in Ultimate Spider-Man number 24. Fans should prepare themselves for a startling finale that will cement the run as one of the most beloved Spider-Man runs in recent history. Packed with dramatic and shocking developments for the entire Parker family, Peter, Mary Jane, Richard, May, and Uncle Ben, along with Harry Osborn, Gwen Stacy, and more. The issue will also create promising roadmaps for future storytelling. Let me say, you hit the jackpot, Tiger.
Yeah. If you have not been reading Absolute Spider-Man, you are truly missing out on one of the best Spider-Man stories of all time. Maybe, like, right now, pound for pound, one of the best Marvel books out right now, let alone one of the best comics out right now.
Now, on top of it, Hickman also explained that this was everything that I had bitched. Nothing has deviated. It's been really nice to execute the plan well, and everything culminates in this issue. Fans of the Ultimate Universe are going to love it. It has been a real pleasure being the writer for Ultimate Spider-Man. I love when a writer is able to come out and say that there's been no interference from the higher ups.
Yeah.
Seriously, like he's doing great work, and it's a great book. So just go buy it.
Yeah, no, you should be buying it. Like I say, the first issue blew me away, and I've been hooked ever since. And it's bittersweet to see that it's only going into 24. But I'm waiting to see what's going to happen here. And then they've really been staying very true to the prophecy about the Maker.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, that's been something that they have not deviated away from. And the fact, like, you're seeing a lot of stuff happening in Ultimates, and especially Ultimate Endgame. And I agree with Kat. It sounds like it's going to be both crazy and awesome at the same time. I fully believe it. You got Dennis Camp writing it, or involved in any way. And like I say, the stuff he's doing right now, the Sort of Crisis events over at Image, Absolute Martian Manhunter at DC, and the Ultimates regular series at Marvel. It's just top level stuff. So this is a perfect time to get into it and really kind of put a bow tie on everything that was San Diego Comic-Con news.
Yeah.
Like I say, they had a lot of great stuff going on, throughout the weekend. And it was really a celebration of comics too.
Yep.
Like I say, when we were putting the show together, we were really trying to nail something from everybody. And there was more announcements coming out after too. Like I say, that's one thing to be excited about as a comic fan. Because like we alluded to at the beginning of the show, we always think San Diego, we always think the big Hall H moment with Marvel and DC. And even though DC had a great one with Peacemaker, we're still thinking the movies,
Mm-hmm.
and to see the comics really get their time to shine. And like I say, we had some great stories coming out of that, stuff to get us excited heading into the fall and new year.
Absolutely.
This is what we want as comic fans. And I don't think they could do any better job on it. But I also want to say I shout out every single publicist and PR team that was there, because it is not easy to orchestrate any of those events. So I definitely salute everybody on that one. Tom, any final thoughts? Super chat, any final thoughts on San Diego Comic-Con? What was your favorite story of the weekend? But Tom, I'll go with you.
I'm going to just go back to what we were talking about outside of comic books just before we went on. Kevin Smith always does a panel. And if you folks get a chance to see his little, manifesto or, tirade or whatever, going on that he said about what it's about being in this industry and being someone who's a creative. We've been doing this long enough. We sometimes, we'll be honest, we get burnout. It's like, oh man, I understand. Let me tell you, Kevin Smith put something out there that has absolutely recharged my power battery. That's right. Like, seriously, I'm just ready to throw the power ring back in there and back in the game. It is extremely touching. It brought us all together. And even if you weren't there, So again, kudos to, like Ken said, the publicists and everybody. Kudos to everybody in media and press and so on who worked their tails off this weekend. And also thank you to the fans, because if it wasn't for the fans, we wouldn't be doing this still, whether it's San Diego or here on YouTube or any of the other socials, So that's my biggest takeaway, that all the companies are doing stuff for the fans, and they're doing it for the fans first, because that's what keeps us going.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think there's any question about that.
I had a moment. Sorry.
No, you're allowed to have moments, my friend. It's all right to do.
And we didn't have to put the ticker up either.
No, we didn't. Like to say, that's one key thing about this, that, as we're trying to, really kind of sum up San Diego too. And like I say, we've been fortunate enough to do Turn a Page here for almost 2 years now.
Yep. We're coming up to issue number 100.
Yeah. Issue 100 is coming out too. Like I say, so we just have to give another salute out to the PR teams, because they really made a lot of stuff happen too. And like I said, we're trying to, there is so much going on, but the overall sense is like comics are exciting.
Yes.
And it's something for everybody to get involved with. Like we've covered so many genres here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're a horror fan, whether you're a superhero fan, whether you're in the pop culture, whether, you're into something, there was something here for everybody. And I think that's the biggest takeaway now that we can really enjoy as fans. And there's going to be so much more stuff coming out then in the fall that we're going to be looking forward to as we progress to New York Comic Con. And then what happens after that. And like to say, that's one beauty about being fans. You have a place to go to celebrate your fandoms.
Yep.
And it's such a cool time to go to. If you have a chance to go to any cons, go to Comic Con and just interact with fans. Go meet new artists, go meet new writers, go meet some people, and just and just start talking to some fans.
And you do that at your LCS too. Don't forget to support them as well.
Of course. No, you always start at the LCS first. That's the best place to go. And there's going to be a lot of stuff going on tomorrow as we record, because obviously it's New Comic Book Day. We got a lot of stuff coming out. The Bullpen is still getting it together. Then, like I said, nobody is doing New Comic Book Day quite like the Nerd Initiative Bullpen. Reviews are dropping left and right. They're still coming in, so we don't have any graphics for that. But that's why you should just click on over to nerdinitiative.com and make sure you sign up.
Yes.
Put the bookmark in where you need to, and especially on the YouTube channel. Can't stress it enough. New reviews are dropping starting at noon Eastern. So you want to make sure you hit the subscribe button, tap the bell for notifications, and hit the thumbs up to let the bosses know that you love what you're seeing here at Nerd Initiative and you want to see more of it. And one last reminder, in case you turned in late, next week, Timmy Hague and Scott Kolbish are going to be here live on the air talking Archie versus Minor Threats. Super excited to talk to them. Super excited to see the expanding universe really take hold, and especially with a character that you don't think would cross over. So I really want to kind of deep dive into that and see what they got going on.
Now I think on the other way, it's a little iffy, but the camp, the certain level of camp that you get out of, over there, and how they've done Archie over the past few years, like, don't be a jughead, just, go and read it.
Yeah. Well said. So that being said, shout out to everybody in the chat tonight. Chat was definitely making a lot of noise. Can't thank everybody enough for that. And we can't thank you enough for watching us wherever you're watching. So on behalf of Tom and myself, we'll end it like we always do here on Turn a Page. When you're at the comic shops, and you have some great issues in your hand that you heard at San Diego Comic-Con, and you see somebody struggling to find something, hand yours off to them. Tell them to turn a page. We'll see you next week.
I'm out.
This program is powered by Fantasyverse, where manga, comics, and more collide. Check their website out, because it's not a dream. It's Fantasyverse. The content you've just watched is part of the Nerd Initiative Network. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to check out nerdinitiative.com, the home of pop culture positivity.